Hi, Paul Sackis, Good News Planet, speaking to Stephanie Oswald. Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
Hey, Paul. I'm doing great. Always ready to talk about travel.
I know that as you're the travel editor, travel girl, and you've done so many good things in the world of travel. You're always sharing good things and good ways to save, to be smart, to be stress-free, and so on and so forth. And it's summertime, so give us some good news.
Well, you've got it. I'll tell you what, the good news is that there's still time for a summer road trip. So I do have some tips for you on how to play it safe, how to save some money, and how to choose a spectacular destination. I've also got a little bit of travel zen for you, too. So let's start talking about safety, because that's really important. Before you hit the road, you want to follow that Boy Scout rule to be prepared. And that means making sure your car is in tip-top shape, checking the fluid levels, checking the air pressure in your tires. And Paul, don't forget the spare tire, because people often forget about that. But if you get stuck on the side of the road, you want to make sure that that spare tire is ready to go too. Nobody wants to spend, right? You don't want to spend your vacation in a repair shop. So very important. You also want to think about who is traveling with you on the road trip and make sure you've got all the right things you need to keep your whole family safe and happy. Now, something for listeners who have infants in their car, here's a statistic that is not a good one. More than 70% of car seats are installed incorrectly. So fortunately, for moms like me, there is a way to beat those odds. Evenflo has come up with the Symphony all-in-one car seat with SureSafe installation. And it has a series of latch guides and quick connectors, makes it a lot easier, makes you twice as likely to install your car seat correctly. So very important. And Paul, if anybody has any doubts, I like to remind people, take your car to a police station or the fire station, have an expert triple check your work to make sure you've done it right. But this one in particular, the Symphony, really helps you make sure that you've got it installed correctly. It also has great buckle storage, so you can prevent heat burn from your children getting burned by those buckles that heat up in the summer sun. So very important safety tips there. Also for mom and dad, make sure that you get plenty of rest the night before a trip and have a schedule plan so that one person doesn't get stuck with all the driving.
Very wise, very wise. Tell us some other good things.
Well, good news. Saving money is always good news, right?
We love that.
So let's talk about how you
can.
Yeah. So here's a couple of ways to save money, depending on where your listeners are going. I'll tell you what. Lots of hotels this summer have deals out there that are locals only. So find a hotel that is within driving distance for you, within your state, and a lot of times you can get a deal just by showing your driver's license for proof that you are a resident. I know in New Orleans we have a couple of hotels that are offering deals for locals only, especially during the months of August and September. So that's something to look for. Another thing, if you're going to hit the road and you want to go a little bit further but not worry about the driving, megabus.com. Great options. They have 120 locations across North America, so they serve more than 120 cities. And I'll tell you what, the headline here, I think we've talked about how great the bus service is, how it comes with free Wi-Fi and power outlets. But here's something else. Starting in September, they're going to have even more destinations with reserved seating available. So that means anyone who plans ahead can snag those panoramic seats up front or the seats near a table. And I'll tell you what, Paul, for families, that can be really, it's really beneficial, especially if you've got, little ones with you, you want to play games or you want to have some snacks. Having that table seat is really going to be helpful on your trip.
Yeah, I agree. I think driving sometimes is a little bit of a waste of time because you can actually do work, you can relax, and you leave the driving to somebody else.
Exactly. So now where are we going to go on our trip? As I said, find those big cities, but also, I'm a big fan of the beach, so there's still time to get that beach destination in. Also, look online for deals for fall, because a lot of times you can save a lot of money and beat the crowd. So you're avoid the crowds and the high prices. Places like Myrtle Beach have fantastic deals for families and so many activities for everyone, from mini golf to museums, all kinds of things to do there. And there's 60 miles of beach, which you can't beat. Also, something else to do is to go online to those Convention and Visitor Bureau boards and print out the coupons that are going to save you even more dollars. Because even if it's something that saves you $4, if you've got a family of 4, that's another $16 that you can spend on souvenirs or food. Those are great options.
Myrtle Beach in the fall time as well. It's not a snowy part of the world.
No, it's fantastic.
I'm sure it's gorgeous, right?
Lots and lots
Probably.
of sunshine. Beautiful. I was there last fall, and I was one of my favorite vacations ever because there was just so much to do, and it wasn't crowded. We went to the Speedway, and I can remember my kids were able to get on one ride after the other because the lines were so short. So that's really, special. Something else, a lot of people, if you can juggle your schedule, Disney in the fall rather than in the summer, you're going to find much shorter lines, and you're going to find, the same great attractions, the same great characters, but with a lot shorter wait. So really, really important to plan ahead.
My family's going down there next week.
Oh wow! Well, tell them to make sure make sure they get online and set their fast pass up ahead of time, because I'll tell you what, I just did that, and a lot of people think, well, it's a little bit overwhelming. But if she's staying at a Disney property, have her call ahead and talk to the concierge, or even the day she arrives, get in line, talk to the concierge at the hotel that she's staying at, because they can walk you through how to choose the right stuff for your family with the Fast Pass system. It'll make a big difference between minutes or hours spent online once she gets to the parks.
Yeah, she is staying in one of those. So, okay, I will... That's my next call.
Very, very important. I also want to talk to you about Travel Zen, because when you hit the road, and I was just looking online, there's a fantastic Facebook page. It's Feng Shui Interior Design by Alicia, and there are so many great tips for taking your Travel Zen on the road with you. And the first one, now don't look in my car anytime soon, but the first one is to clear the clutter out of your car. And it's so true. People keep, 5 pairs of shoes and pens and paperwork, so much stuff in their car, and you really don't need to do that. So if you've got the time to put a little Travel Zen into your life, clear the clutter out of your car, make sure that everything in there is essential. And then something else that she recommended, I love this tip, make your car, this is your traveling home, so make it a little bit like you. So maybe you've got a special gemstone that you like that you want to keep in your console, or maybe a picture. I really like this idea. Take a postcard of your favorite place, keep it in the glove box, and when you need a smile, you can pull it out. Or maybe you've got a destination you're traveling to, tape it to the dashboard. It's kind of like, Yosemite or bust, or Grand Canyon or bust. But just having a little bit of home, a little bit of something to give you a reminder of where you're going, heading to your next home, it's going to give you inspiration to keep driving and be safe and be happy.
I don't know. You give me so many smiles in the morning. I'm just like smiled out here. There are all these good thoughts because they go along with everybody being, wow, look at this, look at that. It's just so great. You probably, when you clean your car, you might find enough change to pay for the entire trip.
That is true. Hey, you laugh at that? I read a survey once that said the average family has $100 in spare change laying around the house or in the car or in the couch seats. So, very, very important. I have a rule at my house. When I do the laundry, if I find money, it's mine. It belongs to Mom.
There you go. There you go. Stephanie, any other things that you'd like to share? Because everything is a gem.
Well, thanks. The only other thing that I like to remind people when you're traveling with kids, also just make sure you've got all the chargers you need for your teenagers or your little ones. And then at the same time, I like to balance that with don't forget the old-fashioned stuff. So plan, give everyone a hard map, a paper map, not just going on Google Map on your phone or your iPad. Give everyone a hard copy. Also, bring along a new board games. Believe it or not, they still make board games. And I'll tell you what, some of my favorite memories are of playing board games with my family. Pictionary, Monopoly, Life. There are a lot of good ones out there. Even a deck of cards. Teach your kids how to play with something other than the computer or the electric iPad.
I was in Toys R Us over the weekend. They still have board games. Yes. The place was packed in Times Square. Unbelievable.
Yeah, really, really important.
So good.
Really
a lot of great things. Great ideas here,